how God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it, NIV says to walk it and take care of it, to dress it and keep it, as King James Version. Now, this is the first expression of work in the Bible. God finished creating everything, and then he put man in the garden. So man had the responsibility to work or to take care of the garden or to dress the garden and to keep it. That's work. And what we'll be discussing today is work. It's about work. Now, when we talk about career, I tried to look at the dictionary what career means, but I'll try to make it very simple because of the age range that we have here. There are several definitions, but let me make it very simple. Career, when we talk about career, is a lifelong work experience. Career is what? Career is what? A lifelong work experience. So what that means is that a career is a work you do for a lifetime. So a career is different from a job. You can do several jobs, but a career is that work experience that you do for a lifetime. So it's not something you just do and leave. It's that thing that you do for a long period. For a long period. And the way we approach career, the way we choose career is now very important because that's something you'll be doing for the rest of your life. And so you have to be very, very careful in choosing your career. You have to be very, very careful and very, very prayerful in choosing your career because it's something that you will do for the rest of your life. And a lot of people have made mistakes in choosing their career. That's why I thank the organizers for putting together this program and this talk. A lot of people have made mistakes in choosing their career. And they get into a career that they are either not fit for one reason or the other. And at the end of the day, they feel frustrated. They feel frustrated. And we don't want that to happen to any one of you. That's why this talk is very, very important. Now, a job is what you do to earn a living. A job is what you do to earn a living. But a career is something that you do to give expression to your life. A career is something that you do to give expression to your life. So career is about your life. And that is why many people are described by their career. That man is a teacher. That man is a lawyer. In fact, some people you don't know their name, you just know them by their career. See, our pastor is coming. So many people are described by their career. Many people are described by their career. And that's why it is important that you pay attention in determining the career that you choose for yourself. Now, before you choose a career, in a career there are different jobs. In a career there are different jobs. And every job has different tasks. I pray that God will help me to be able to break this down. Now, In every task, you have different motions, what we call psychomotions in every task. Now, let me try to explain this. What are the things that a teacher does? You all go to school. What are the things that your teacher do? Yes? The teacher teaches. I like that. Yes? The teacher imparts knowledge to the student. Yes? Copies. Assist the students. Yes? Teacher gives assignments. The teacher guides. Yes? Helps the students in there. Now, all of these things that you have mentioned are different tasks involved in teaching. The teacher comes to the class, but before the teacher comes to the class, the teacher will prepare lesson notes. Then the teacher comes to the class to deliver the lesson. Then the teacher will give assignments. The teacher will give exam. The teacher will mark and grade. All of those things are the different tasks that are involved in teaching. Now, to be able to do the job of teaching, there are certain motions that are required. For instance, for a teacher to deliver the lesson, the teacher must have the capacity to be able to stand before the children. For the teacher to be able to deliver the lesson, the teacher must have a level of ability to reason, to comprehend the lesson. The teacher must have the ability to speak for the children to understand. So you see, all of these things are important in considering the task that you are going, the career that you are going to choose. For instance, what does a soldier do? Protects the nation, yes. Guides the world, yes. Arrest people, yes. Fight for the country. Now, when you want to go for employment in the military, one of the things they will check is your physical ability, because that work requires you to be able to do some physical drills, to be able to, for you to be able to fight for your country, for you to be able to arrest somebody, you must have strength. Is that not so? You must have strength. So, in choosing a career, there are a number of things that you have to determine, and parents also need to help you determine some of these things. And we're going to talk about some of these things that you need to pay attention to in choosing a career. But let me talk about career systems in the world generally. There are careers that fall under what we call unskilled services. We call it what? Unskilled services. Now, unskilled services mean that you don't need much training to be able to do that career. You don't need much training. You don't need much education to be able to do that career. You know, there are people who help us in the market to push wheelbarrow. Eh? How many of you know? There are people who help us to push wheelbarrow. That's what they do for their lifetime until they no longer have the strength to do that. Is there any school where they teach people how to push wheelbarrow? Eh? There's no school where they teach people how to push wheelbarrow because they don't need much training to be able to do that career. So we call those kind of career unskilled services, people who render unskilled services. Then the second one we have, the second type of career that we have is called skills and trade services. Skills and trade services. For this type of career, you need special skills to be able to do them. You need to go for some training to be able to do this kind of career. And today, society is emphasizing that everyone, no matter whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be an engineer, whether you want to be a teacher, that you have one skill or the other because this is becoming very, very important today. When we talk about skills and trade services, how many of you know barbers? Men, the guys, you know barbers, isn't it? Eh? Tiger, if I give you clipper now, can you cut Somi's hair? You need to go for some training, isn't it? To be able to use it. How many of you know the people who make your dresses? What are they called? Eh? Tailors, seamstresses, eh? Fashion designers. If they give you cloth now and say, make a dress, when you have not had any training, can you make a dress? No. So, those are skills. You must acquire certain skills to be able to find a career in those areas. Then we have the career we call clerical services. Clerical services. How many of you have seen business center? You have seen, what do they do in the business center? Hmm? They type, eh? They print, they photocopy, and all of that. Copy documents. Those are clerical services. And those who work in some offices too, what they do is clerical services. Being able to use a computer to type, prepare memos, write letters, print out things. Those are clerical services. And somebody can choose a career also in those services. Then, number 4, we have what we call professional and technical services. Professional and technical services. Now, professional and technical services are those services that people render who are in some organized professional areas that require high level of training to be able to perform. So we talk about engineers, we talk about doctors, nurses, accountants.
For those in medicine, there is a NMA, Nigerian Medical Association, that will certify you. For those in accounting, we have ICANN. These are professional bodies that will give you license before you can practice in that career. Then finally, we have what we call administrative services. Administrative services. Administrative services also require some level of education and training for you to be able to do a career in that line, to carry out or to develop your career in that line. Now, when we talk about administrative services, we are talking about those who manage organizations, who manage events, managers of companies, estate managers. Such people are classified under administrative services. So I've mentioned 5 different areas where our careers can be built. Number 1 is what? Unskilled services. But I'm not going to recommend that one. The reason I won't recommend that one is because that one requires a lot of work, but little earning. It requires a lot of work, but little earning. Most times, unskilled services do not give you pension. When your energy can no longer carry you in that kind of work, you become very vulnerable because you don't have a pension. A pension is money that you are paid even when you are no longer working. And it is difficult to save when you are doing an unskilled service. It's difficult to save. Most times, what you earn, you spend it almost immediately. Most unskilled services, what you earn, you spend it almost immediately. And tomorrow you go out again, what you earn, you spend it to buy food, you spend it. It's difficult to save. So that is not what we recommend for anyone. The second one is what? Skills and trade services. That one I recommend it for everybody who is here. I recommend that one for everybody who is here. No matter what you want to be in life, it is important that you have one skill or one trade. Because things are getting tougher and tougher, and sometimes even what we earn in our professional and technical services are no longer enough to do the things that we need to do. How many of you girls here know how to plait hair? You know how to plait hair? Raise your hand. A lot of our girls don't know. How many of you know how to sew dress? Just 3. How many of them? Up to 5. How many of you know how to bat hair?
Oh, wow. Siva.
How many of you know how to bake? You know how to bake. everyone here must have one or two skill or trade services that you must focus on. So one thing I want you to write down in your notebook is which skill area would you like to improve? I'm coming around to see it. Which skill area would you want to improve? How many of you know how to do photography? Use camera. How many of you know how to use a computer? Alright, write the skill area. I'm going to call 5 persons that will tell me the skill area that they want to focus on. Yes, 5 persons. Let me see your hand. 5 persons. Tell me. Number 1. Yes. Yes. Computer skills. Yes. Number 2. Yes. No. Making hair. Have you started learning it? You know how to make. You want to do. Yes? Number 3.
I want to improve my computer skills.
Computer skills. Yes, number 4. So you already know how to do it. So you need to improve. Yes, number 5. I'll come here again for another 4 persons. Yes. Eh? How to make meal dresses. Okay. Yes. How to bake. Okay. Yes. Eh? How to make hair. Okay. Yes. How to make hair. Yes. And audio engineering. Audio engineering. All right. Yes. Yes. How to sew. So everyone here, please, everyone here. Everyone, you raise your hand now, so I know that you know how to do. Okay, which one do you want to practice very well? Barbing hair. Okay. Number 3 is what? Clerical services. This one I also recommend for everybody. This one I also recommend for everybody. Because no matter what your career is, one place where you'll be spending money is for clerical services. And if you know how to handle your clerical services, you save a lot of money. For instance, I'm a teacher, and I do a lot of writing. A lot of writing. In the last, let me say, 10 years, if I calculate what I've saved by not giving somebody my work to type for me, and print for me, and photocopy for me, and do this for me, and do that for me. If I calculate, I would have saved a huge amount of money. I would have saved a lot of money. So, whether you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are a nurse, whatever you are, you need clerical services. So I recommend this for everybody. Good, a number of you said you know how to use a computer. Now you have to improve on the use of the computer to be able to do your work yourself. Those of you who are in the university, you should be typing your assignments yourself, typing your projects yourself, and you save a lot of money doing so. Then the professional and technical services. The professional and technical services. A career in this area puts you in a great position to have a settled life. It puts you in a great position to have a settled life. But it also demands a lot. A professional and technical service career demands a lot. But it puts you in a great position to be able to settle down, to have a settled life. Like I said, a career is a lifelong work experience. And if your career falls into a professional and technical area, the opportunity of
Growth increases. The opportunity increases. You see, clear of growth. Having a career in clerical services has a limited growth. Your growth is limited to a particular point. And beyond that, it becomes difficult for you to rise. But a professional and technical service area gives you opportunity, maximum opportunity for growth. The more you are in that career, the more you have the opportunity to grow. And that is why it is highly recommended. It is highly recommended. But for you to go into a professional and technical area, it is important that you understand the different intelligences. How many of you know that we have different intelligences? Before now, we only think of IQ, your cognitive intelligence. But the more we understand the different intelligences, the more we understand our career path. And I'm going to mention some intelligences that are very, very important for us to understand. Number one, we have naturalistic intelligence. We have what? Naturalistic intelligence. How many of you like plants? How many of you like plants? Plants. Okay. You like plants. Good. Those with naturalistic intelligence have a flair for nature. They have a flair for nature. And they can build a career from that. These people that plant and sell flowers, what do you call them? Horticulturists. They are people with this naturalistic intelligence. These people who are able to identify plants that can heal people. If someone is sick, they can tell you if you boil this leaf and this leaf and this leaf, the person will be well. They have naturalistic intelligence. Everyone will not go to the university to become the same thing. We must understand that different people are gifted with different intelligences. And the more people go into the area of their natural intelligence, the better they become in their career. There are many people who are not fit for certain career, but they are there and they are just struggling. They are there and they're just struggling. So, those who have flair for plants, for nature, they have naturalistic intelligence. Number two, we have those with musical intelligence. Musical intelligence. These are people who have a natural flair for music and are gifted in music. You give some people to learn how to play instruments. 5 years, they are still learning how to play do, re, mi, sol, la, ti, do. But you give some people under 1 week. Under 1 week, they have musical intelligence. Some people have very deep, they have difficulty in appreciating musical tones. But there are people who are so gifted. And from childhood, you can notice those and have those intelligences and begin to guide them for us as parents, to begin to guide them in that path. Musical intelligence. Number three is logical mathematical intelligence. How many of you have like maths? How many of you like maths? Good. Good. Such people have logical mathematical intelligence, and this is very, very important for key professional areas like engineering, computer science, accountancy, and others. And we should be able to identify our children and be able to develop them in those areas. Then we have existential intelligence. We have what? Existential intelligence. These are people, they are deep thinkers. Deep thinkers. And even from the level at which you are, there are some that are deep thinkers. When they make statements, you wonder if this person is an adult or a child. I don't know if you come across people like that. There are, when they talk, you wonder if these people that understand life and are able to help others to understand the purpose of life. Counselors also fall under this category. Then we have bodily kinetic intelligence. Bodily kinetic intelligence. These are people who have flexibility, strength, speed, and such people are best suited to make a career in sports. They are best suited to make a career in sports. They are very skillful with their body movements. If I tell some of you now to do backflip, how many of you can do backflip? How many of you can do backflip? How many of you can do Chinese bending? How many of you can do rubber leg? You see, for us as parents, and that's sometimes is the difference with such people are very good in sports, gymnastics, dancing, and they make a good career in those areas. How many of you know that dancing is a career? Eh? Choreography. There are people who are earning a lot from dancing, from choreography, from gymnastics, and they are identified from when they are small. For those of you who are already teens, it's almost getting late to take advantage of this because much earlier, such people, when identified, can grow to become career people in those areas. Today, the money that footballers earn, eh? The money that footballers earn, the money that athletes earn is huge. The money that basketballers earn, and these are areas that children can build their career in. Then we have interpersonal interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. These are people who know how to relate with others. Such people make good career in public relations. In counseling too. Such people make a good career in, there are marriage counselors. And they are making a living from that. Then we have linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence. These are people who are able to speak and know the power of speech. Bill Clinton finished as American president and is earning a loan from public speaking. He's earning a loan from public speaking is far more than what he earned as a president. So people with linguistic intelligence, they are good debaters. They are good public speakers. And there are people who earn a living from doing that. They are good speech writers. Do you know that there are many people who are in political offices and are looking for speech writers? Most of the speeches made by our presidents and our governors are written by someone else. How many of you know that? Such people have linguistic intelligence. And what they do is writing speeches for people, writing books for people to read, publishing books, and all of that. So these are different intelligences that we need to identify before we determine our career area. And if a child is forced into an area that child does not have intelligence, the child may succeed, but it will come with a lot of hard work and struggle. A child who does not have mathematical intelligence may become a great engineer, but it will come with a great cost. It will require someone with a natural flair for that will find it easier progressing in that career path. So we need to identify which one of these intelligence is your own. Everyone, you are going to tell me which one is your own. Tiger, which one is your own? Eh? No, not your career. Which of this intelligence do you have? Because by now everyone should know their own. Mathematical, logical. Good. Which one is your own? I mentioned musical, mathematical, existential, linguistic, interpersonal, body kinetic. Which one? Musical. Good. So are you learning music now? Where is which one is your own? That one. So you want to become footballer? You make money, remember me. Which one is your own? Hmm? Musical. So are you learning music now? You need to start. Which one is your own? Bodily kinetic. So how do you want to build a career out of that? Yeah, you are studying something, and that's sometimes a controversy. That's sometimes a controversy. Will my career come from what I'm studying, or will my career come from my natural intelligence? That's where we need a lot of career training for our young ones. Because you see, one thing with a career is it is driven by your purpose in life. And that purpose usually comes from God. And God usually deposits in you certain innate abilities to be able to pursue that purpose. And if you build a career around your purpose, then your career would be easier for you because it comes natural than just what you studied. So there are people who studied law but won't have a great career in law because they don't have linguistic, and I teach lawyers. I teach lawyers some courses. And there are many who are in school reading law now, but they don't have linguistic intelligence. And they will struggle practicing law. They will struggle practicing law. But some are there because, quote and unquote, it's like prestigious. I'm reading law. I'm a lawyer. But there are many lawyers who are struggling. Oh. Many lawyers who are struggling. All right. So, Kaka, will have to continue this conversation between your kinetic intelligence and what you're reading. Yes. Linguistic intelligence. Okay. So, that means that will give you an opportunity in certain career areas if it's your natural flair. Let me take two or three more. Yes. All of you here will tell me because I'm rounding up. Deep thinking. Okay, we call that what? Existential. Existential. So what are you reading? You are reading engineering, physics. Okay. Philosophy. You want to be a philosopher? Yes, yes, I also give that insight. Philosophers have this intelligence. Pastors have this intelligence. Counselors have this intelligence. Yes. bodily kinetic. Which sports are you doing? Basketball. Are you taking it seriously? You've not practiced. Yes. Interpersonal intelligence. Okay. Interpersonal intelligence. Yes. Logical mathematics. Okay. So your area of, yes, the four of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Linguistic intelligence. So why do you want to read theater art? Hmm? Okay, in theater art, plenty talking. Yes. Logical mathematical. Yes. Linguistic intelligence. Yes. Musical intelligence. Are you learning any musical instruments? Singing? You are learning the piano. Okay. 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 As I begin to round up, let me say this. Two things that should be paramount in choosing your career. One is your life's purpose. Is your life's purpose. And I hope that engagements like this will, the things you have been learning since yesterday, which you will continue till tomorrow, would help you identify your life's purpose. Like I said, your career becomes enjoyable when it is tied to your life's purpose. If you choose a career before you know your life's purpose, there will be a contradiction. Understanding your life purpose should come before determining your career. Understanding your life purpose should come before determining your career. I was having a discussion with Sopre the other time, and I said, I hope your choice of theater art is not because you see actors as celebrities and you feel like, I want to be a celebrity. That is putting the cart before the horse. You need to understand what is your life's purpose first, and then determine that this career I'm going to pursue will be the path to fulfilling that life's purpose. Because when tough times come, and in every career there are tough times, when tough time comes, it is your life.
We said career is a lifelong work experience. Sometimes the job you do may not give you enough earning. In those moments, it is your life's purpose that will keep you. Your life's expression. What is my major life's expression? My major life's expression is what I do as a teacher. If you take that away, you are taking a significant part of it. Our career gives us opportunity to express our life, and that is why understanding your intelligence, your natural intelligence, becomes very, very important. I'm sure, Dickie, as an engineer, if they take away handling machine from you, it's like they've taken a major part of your life's expression. one way you know how to express your life is in handling those leadership. That is, if they remove the pulpit from you, they're taking a major part of your life's expression. It is what you do, your career, that gives you expression to your life. So 2 things. Number 1, determine your purpose before you choose your career. And then number 2, choose a career that gives you an opportunity for life's expression. That is where I will end this talk. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir, for honoring our invitation. We will take 1 or 2 questions so that you can also help us attend to the questions. We have learned sincerely speaking, I've learned something. The life expression, the existential, right? Existential, that's the deep thinkers. I've learned when I listened to before, when we were in school those days, I would hear somebody studying philosophy just like that. You know that those days when you are in school, thinking doctor, you are in engineering, somebody's in medicine, and you are here that somebody is doing philosophy. You just, this one like say, there's not another to come to. But when people will know the person, I don't want to mention his name, and when I listen to that particular person, people will come, they'll cast aspersion at the guy, they will criticize him, they will say this, they will say that, and if he wants to answer the questions or respond, when he now gets an interview and they're asking him, this person said this about you, this person said this about you. There was one the Foundation said about him, and he was doing like, what's your response? That this man says about it. He said, that for him, if he's an old man, he will not say certain things so that little children will not disrespect him. That's the way he answered. He said, if I'm an old man, if I were him as an old man, I will not say. They were asking him, they expected him to say, this man is this man is that. He said, if I'm an old man, there are certain things I will not say. Because if I say them to create mood for young people to start to talk to me in a way that they shouldn't. And people were like, how does this man? And what somebody said, it will only be a miracle for this person to win an election. Even of course, and Islam has always been a miracle. That this miracle happened, this miracle happened, this miracle happened. And that's where it got to where he is. And I said, wow, it's like I will go and do something around philosophy. The way this man thinks, there's something about his head. So we'll take questions. Doctor will answer our questions. How many are we taking? Let's agree. We're already late, so we'll take 4. 1. If you don't raise up your hand, don't come back later. This one is not testimony. When testimony is finishing, somebody will. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have. Wait. 1. If I want you, measure your number. Pastor has prayers everywhere he goes. 6. So, number 1, stand up and ask your question where you are. You don't need to come out.
I want to ask you, you can have more than one life choice.
If you can have more than one life career.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2.
Sir, my own question is, I am condemning career.
Hi.
Wait. Everybody is entitled to ask a question. No question is irrelevant.
Hi, good.
How are you going? You have to say that. question. Doctor is listening to you.
Sir, please, I don't condemn
I don't condemn. Is it a career? Number 3. Okay, same.
Sorry, I didn't get the first one.
if you can have more than one. And also if, for example, like my
avoid talking while close to food because
I'm also
when you are talking
into naturalistic and religious relevance. That is also like a problem.
Number 3. Number 4.
I want to know more like a naturalistic development because when you said horticulturist, what of like they deal with flowers? You talk about the flowers. So I was supposing that herbalists too have naturalistic.
Yes,
You mentioned something related
there
to
are those who can treat sickness with herbs. Herbalists, yes, they have naturalistic intentions. Yeah,
There are people that once you are working with them, they show you that this one can cure this one. This one. There are young people, this one can cure this one. Number 5.
so do you have that intelligence?
Number 5. More than one intelligence, not career. That's it.
How do we help those of us who are parents and we don't know how to guide our children as to which career to choose? And when we say come for counseling, we don't have time to come for counseling. And our children, they themselves, they don't come for counseling. What can we do, particularly as a church, to help such parents?
Okay, our dear pastor has a question, and the question was here.
My question is making how to make money. Is it a career? I'm asking this question because several times people have career, but they know how to make money out of the career. Sometimes we don't know. So it's making how to make money. See, it's every career, or is it something everybody should do? Like
Thank you for all the questions. Some are similar, so I'll answer them together. Wow. Let me start with, can one have more than one intelligence? Yes. One can have more than one intelligence. And usually, it serves as a safeguard if you have more than one intelligence. I know of some athletes who are very great, and when they finish up as athletes, because as an athlete, at some point, age will make it impossible for you to perform at your maximum. I can't remember the name now, but there are 1 or 2 Nigerians who ended up very frustrated after their career as footballers. But there are others who went into, there is a particular player who went into legal practice. In fact, Sam Okwaraji was a lawyer or something. And when they finish up in one part, they are able to switch over to the other one and continue with the rest of their life. So if you have more than one, it's a great plus. It's a great plus. That you would usually build your career around the one that you have invested more in, the one you have spent more time developing. So you could have bodily kinetic intelligence and linguistic intelligence. And through your education, you focus more on your linguistic intelligence. You get to a certain point, you can no longer use bodily kinetic as a career again. Because when you get to a certain point in your life, the body becomes naturally stiff. That's why those who go into gymnastics, choreography, and all of that, they start preparing them from very little age. Okay? So if there are certain intelligences, if you don't use at a certain time, you can no longer use them again. Even musical intelligence, if you don't start early with it, you get to a certain point in your life, it becomes very difficult for you to harness it to the fullest. You may end up going into it, but you will just be an average performer. Because a career, like I said, is a lifelong experience, and the more time you develop in building it, the more the chances are that you will advance to the peak of your career. So there are some of these skills that the earlier even logical mathematical skills, if you don't start early to be groomed in it, you get to a certain stage, that intelligence will leave you. You can be very intelligent with calculations and all of that, but if you don't keep the fire burning at a certain point, that skill, that intelligence will leave you. So yes, you can have more than one intelligence. You can have more than one intelligence. Then we ask the question about iron condemning. Yes, someone can build a career in it, but it's an unskilled, likely an unskilled area. So most times what happens is that you'll be working for people who will be making the money. You'll be doing the hard work. The others will be making the money. You see these people who go around and gather, condemn. There are people who are making millions from the products of those people. But those people are just making peanuts. So yes, someone can build a career in an unskilled area. That's one of the unskilled areas. But you will be exerting a lot of energy, but you will not be making the money out of it. And others will be making the money out of it. So that's why I said that is not an area that will be our first recommendation to you. Most times it's circumstances that push people into such areas. When life happens to people, maybe no sponsorship, nothing, no one to take care of their going into an area of training and all of that. It may lead to that, but God will help us to go beyond that level. Then the other question is, can we have, okay, that's also more than the same. Okay, can we have more than one life career? Yes, you can have more than one job, but you can only really have one career. You can only really have one career. Like I said, there's a difference between a job. A job is what you do to make money. So someone can have different jobs. Someone can have different jobs. But a career is a lifelong work experience where you build and growing. And it's difficult to actually have two that you actually grow. You can have one career and have some multitasking to do that will be bringing you some extra income. But in the sense of a career and what a career really means, it will be very difficult to have two careers. But one can end one career and transit into a career that is similar or closely related. One can end one career. There are people who retire early from one career and then they can switch into something else. And in that case, yes, but at the same time, having two careers would be such a difficult thing to comprehend. That yes, you can do more than one job. Dr. Lamu, you can help give your perspective on that.
The answer you gave is correct, sir. However, you can use one career to support the other thing, and it can be complementary. It's always good to punch one hole. As rightly said, you can't do two careers and punching two holes. You'll never have a good success in it. But if you develop one career very well, you'll find that career useful in any other thing that you want to do. So, for instance, I'm an engineer, and I also run a hospitality business. And I use my engineering to maintain that facility. But that is not my career.
That is not your career.
So I'm an engineer by career. But that training
is
very useful
experience helps you to do that. But you are not
I'm not a hospitality person.
Yes, but you are succeeding to do that. So someone who has a career in that area may be servicing you.
Exactly. You can use somebody that is into hospitality abdition.
Yes.
Somebody who has care for people from the beginning. We need a service of people like me to maintain their facility. So you always need other skills. And if you develop a good career very well, you can actually have several sources of income coming from that career, either by engaging other people, but you are using what you have learned from your career. A medical doctor that is treating people can at the same time use his idea to support maybe a school that has some hospital, or can use it to teach. He's a medical doctor, but at the same time he's teaching. So it's possible to apply your career in other areas.
Thank you. Then how where do parents come in? Children, what will the church do? I think one of the things the church can do is what we are doing now, even though this now is for the younger ones. We can also have a program like this for parents to also come together and talk, because parents' involvement in the choice of children's career is important. But many times, parents insist on certain things without paying attention to some of the things we have discussed, and they get it wrong. So sometimes the child will finish school and say, okay, I finished, take the certificate, that was what you wanted. And then they go and find their career, in the place where they have natural intelligence. We've seen cases like that. Someone will give the medical certificate to the parents and say, this is what you wanted me to do, I've done it, you can have it now, let me go and find my life. So someone reads medicine and then ends up becoming a musician. Someone, reads law and ends up becoming okay.
So first the banker, he's a musician.
He's a musician.
And he read law.
And he read law.
Good lawyer.
So sometimes parents insist on certain things without paying attention to these details. It may be important that such training can be organized for parents to come and talk about these things too. Is making money a career? Yes, it is a career. But it's not everyone's career. There are certain services that even you as a career person you need. Basically, as a career person, you need the services of the medical doctor to take care of your health and family health. If you are running a business, you may need the services of a lawyer. So, as a career person in different areas, you need the services of certain career people. There are people who have developed a career in helping others know how to make money. So if you develop a career in that, then that can be your career. But you can be in any of these other careers and learn some tips of how to make money by going for training and all of that. And you can also acquire the services of those who have made that their career. So there are three approaches. One is you build your own career and learn tips on how to make money from that your career by going for extra training and all of that to know how to make money from that your career. The other way is to yourself build a career in helping people to make money, and then people will be coming for your services. And then the third one is that you contract those that know how to make money and pay for their services and use their services to make money. So those are three. So yes, it's a career to learn how to make money. But when we talk about career, you discover that I did not mention that money making is the primary thing. In the choice of a career, the primary thing should not be money. But if you do what you like, with little training on how to make money, you will make money from your career. If you build your career around what you have a natural intelligence for, if you build a career around what you like, you are most likely to make money from it with little extra investment in training on how to make money from that career. So yes, it is a career, but just like not everyone will become an engineer, not everyone will become an expert in making money. But pay a little more attention to learning some additional skills. I don't know who wants to add to that. All right. Yes, no, please,
Very, very good one. Let me say 2 things about making money. We all know Tesla, right?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Tesla automobile. So the man that is called Tesla invented a lot of things. He has a logical intelligence that
okay, can you talk so that they can hear you? Come
okay, so I said we know Tesla. The man that is a physicist that is called Tesla invented a lot of things. He's very intelligent in terms of the logical intelligence, but he has zero knowledge on how to make money, and he has no interest in it. But the man that we know by Tesla today, who is Elon Musk, took all the things that the man did, what you are doing to money. We need to learn entrepreneurship. We need to learn that. You need to learn how do you manage money. We don't learn it in school. More often than not, you don't have it. So we need to be conscious, to be humble, to learn how do you multiply a little money and make it big. Now for parents, where parents do make mistake, and we can correct it from here. It is wrong asking children, what do you want to do in the future? It's not about doing. Doing, you think you are just, it's not about doing. The better question is, how do you want to help people in the future? How would you like to help people? So if somebody say, oh, like she said, I want to be able to help people to be healthy. You already see the direction of the career. Because ultimately, it's not about you. The gifting that you have is about other people. And it's when you help other people that money comes with. So when you begin to ask the child, how do you want to help people in the future? Say, no, I want to build a house that people can enjoy themselves and be safe in that house. You know the tendency of a civil engineer or an architect is in that child. And then you can guide that child. So parents should be very careful. You see some tendency in your child, but you are forcing the child in a different way. It's quite very wrong. But a good question I begin to help their brain is, how do you like to help people? And you need to see that child making the right choice.
You know, that's very important. Job is about doing.
Career is about being. Job is about doing. Career is about being. So it's even more of a question of what you want to be than what you want to do. It's more of what you want to be than what you want to do when we're talking about career. And let's learn to make money. The easiest way to make money from a career is to learn collaboration and partnership than competition. The best way to learn how to make money is partnership and collaboration than competition. There is a scholar in entrepreneurship that talked about the crazy kilt principle. You know these Scottish skirts, you know a kilt, these skirts that have different patches. So you see, when those patches are brought together, they form a beautiful fabric. That's collaboration. These days, stylers also do that. When broken tiles, those tiles that would have been wasted, they now bring them and use them to create something beautiful. Now that's partnership. That's what partnership is about. For instance, I will make more money as a consultant if I collaborate with other colleagues who have skills in other areas that I don't have competency in. But if I see them as my competitors, I don't want them to come to where I'm doing my training. I don't want them to. Now, in that way, I'm limiting the number of training opportunities I will get, because I can only get training in the area of my core competence. But when they have jobs, they will call me. When I have jobs, I will call them. When there are jobs that I cannot do, I can still take those jobs because I have people I can call to join me to do it. So, career should not be so much of competition. Career, those who collaborate grow faster. Those who collaborate grow faster, achieve more. And the more you achieve in your career, the more you are placed with higher responsibilities. And that happens more with collaboration than competition. So sometimes even at home, let's encourage our children to reduce competition and think more about collaboration. Because from childhood, there is that tendency to want to compete. Yes, there is a place for that, but more of collaboration helps in career development. Thank you for your time.
Questions you answered, we are very, very grateful. If we were to pay for this, I don't think we have the resources to pay. Thank you. One thing that I'll just add is I like when you said you have an interaction with your daughter in a particular or had course of choice. It is good. It shows that there's this kind of connection where you can interact with your children. A lot of parents they are not accessible. They are not accessible. And that's why children are not open up and saying, this is what I actually want. This is the play I have. Because there's already a structure. Some of our rules are very regimented. There's already a structure. Because this one moves fast. You already have the person is already standing behind the engineering. Because this one knows this. We don't actually care to hear from them and listen to the voice of their heart and know what actually they want. I came back last week, walked into my son's room, I saw that one of the sisters had created a workspace. And I sat down on the bed and she was discussing with me, we were talking about, she brought her diary and showed me her diary. I looked at the cover page of the diary. And what she wrote there was, fashion is my dream. And I sat there, started opening Yeah, so let's see different functional designs that she's drawing. Open different, give her a phone. The next thing she's in the internet, looking at different fashion. I said, no problem. And what that is telling me is that if she's not interested in being a doctor, I should never go that area to say you must be. In fact, the good thing that is happening now is that everybody knows that those areas everybody was running to in those days are not the areas giving anybody money. That's the good thing that has happened in this generation. You discover that people that are not, maybe they are not tech guys. They just finished a first degree in religion. They didn't even do computer science. But they are doing tech. Not Yahoo, not Yahoo, I said tech. I said tech, they know how to write computer programs, they know how to develop apps, they know how to do, and they are extremely, some people sit at home and work for 3 banks. They don't need to report at any office. They get to a point that they give the banks their own conditions, and I don't need to come to you can work from anywhere, and they are home working for 3 organizations. If you remember sometime last year, there was a kind of downturn in the performance of GT as a bank. The way their online services, they had a lot of their staff that were in the IT department that resigned and traveled abroad. That was what was happening to GT at that time. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm happy that we are hearing from our fathers, we are hearing from experienced people. There are a lot of opportunities, and you don't have any reason to fail. There is no reason to fail. There's no reason to fail. Somebody said when you are 30, you are now in the background. So nobody complains that I came from a poor background. You don't say I'm 30, that it is my background that is the problem, because you now is the what? You are in background. So thank you, our fathers. So we are going into skill acquisition. We have our skill acquisition section now. Then after that, we retire for our dinner. So Sister Rachel, have your setup. We'll be here with you as you teach us. With the conference hall, okay. So we have the introduction here.
That's right.
Do we have the introduction here, then the practical class?
Wonderful. I'm about any stuff. I think I'm about any stuff. What's the
After the introduction.
Okay, please, somebody to help me.